Speaking of trauma, a lot of individuals who have gone through stuff can relate to being either presently at a point or in the past at a point where they'd never felt or didn't feel as if they were good enough.
Mm,
This constant chasing of perfection or
yeah.
social media, and this world of happiness, and the quote unquote toxic positivity that
Oh,
is
yeah.
kind of hitting us right now. What's your thoughts as far as when is a person good enough?
Hmm. That I think is going to be a week to week again answer for me.
I love it.
Part of that is because of, again, the environment around me changes the lens that I look through, like I spoke on before. And I'm thinking about the many kids that I work with that come with exactly that. And I can tell you post COVID, this is much worse. Much, much worse. It's anecdotal data, but I can tell you the kiddos, so even if it was the same kid that I was working with before COVID began and now, holy moly, the need to be good enough, the ability to feel like you fit in, the ability to communicate well, both with yourself and with others. We got some trouble coming. We got some trouble. Um, as far as I'll define for myself, good enough for me is a bit metaphorical, perhaps. It's a feeling of contentment that matches the feeling of floating on that pond at the ranch.
Oh,
You know, that if I can have that level of this is just good, that's good enough for me. You know, it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be constant. It's just if I can just touch that and know that it's there.
yeah.
Whether it's I'm touching the memory, whether in this moment I'm feeling that, whether I can sit quietly with myself and touch that feeling, that's good enough for me. And a lot of what I do with the families and the kids that I work with is go, okay, let's collect all of your values and let's feel out what's good enough for each of your values. Like, okay, I really value, say, getting good grades. Fantastic. I also value rest. All right. Well, how do we balance these values and how do we figure out what the true, it isn't just like, here is good enough. It's a little of this, a little of that. Oh, this week it's a little bit more like this, and this one's a little over here. You've got to balance each one of them. And in going from that values perspective, we can very quickly start to assess where we're at in this moment and redefine good enough as needed and adjust so we're genuinely healthy and balanced instead of just chasing happy, which toxic positivity, oh, that has done more damage to me than anything. I grew up in a very like everything is fine. We are awesome. Nobody look and you won't see sort of style. And yeah, I don't jive well with that. That's that like it's gonna be okay, but we have to grasp the darkness and we have to know that it's there and we've got to be willing to look it straight in the face.
Yeah, definitely. When did you recognize that?
That darker part.
The fakeness of that.
Ooh,
Did you recognize that pretty young?
in part, I bought into it very young. I bought into it very young. Good enough, being good, being okay was, big smile. Being right, being well, being healthy was everything is fine, you know? So it
Mm.
was a long time of buying into that system and man investing everything into that system of everything is fine, don't worry about it. I'm great, everything's good. I don't need anything. I would say it didn't start to hit where I went, it's I can take a step back. I can rebalance probably until I was, gosh, probably not till a couple of years ago. I'm gonna tell you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting the ages of which people come into a realization with that. I'm talking with a few younger ones. I know that you work a lot in the young
Mhm.
children, young